and contentment.
Once upon a time, in a far-off land, there lived a raven. This raven was very unhappy. He lived alone in a big forest. Every day, he perched on a high tree branch. His heart was heavy with sadness. The raven felt lonely and unloved. He often stared at the sky and sighed. His days were filled with sorrow and despair. One bright morning, as the raven sat brooding, his tears fell onto the leaves below. The forest was quiet except for the raven's soft cries. Nearby, a wise old man was meditating. He heard the raven's distress. The wise man walked over with a gentle heart. He saw the raven's sadness and asked, "Why are you crying, my friend? What is troubling you so?" The raven looked up, his eyes full of tears. He said, "I feel so worthless. No one loves me. I am always alone. Sometimes I think it would be better if I were gone." The wise man listened carefully. He saw the pain in the raven's eyes. After the raven finished speaking, the wise man said softly, "Happiness is not found in what you have or how others see you. True happiness comes from within yourself. You must learn to be content with your life." The raven did not understand. He was still full of sadness and sorrow. He continued to cry. Seeing this, the wise man offered a chance to change. He said, "Tell me, what do you desire most in the world? What would make you truly happy?" The raven thought for a moment. He said, "If I could have one wish, I would want to be a swan. Swans are beautiful and graceful. They must be the happiest creatures on earth." The wise man smiled and said, "Very well, I will grant your wish. But first, go and speak to a swan. Ask him if he is truly happy with his life." The raven was eager. He flew off to find a swan. He spotted one swimming elegantly in a nearby pond. The swan's feathers were white and shiny. The raven approached and asked, "Oh, beautiful swan, are you the happiest creature in the world?" The swan looked at the raven and replied, "No, I am not. I may be admired for my beauty, but I wish I had the vibrant colors of a parrot. I envy their bright feathers." The raven was curious. He thanked the swan and continued his search. He soon found a parrot perched on a branch. The parrot's feathers were a dazzling array of colors. The raven asked, "Are you happy, dear parrot?" The parrot sighed and said, "No, I am not. Though my colors are admired, I am often kept in a cage. I long for the freedom of the peacock. I envy their ability to roam freely." The raven, still searching for the answer, flew to a zoo where he saw a peacock. The peacock had a beautiful fan of feathers. Many people admired the peacock, but its eyes seemed sad. The raven asked, "Are you happy, peacock?" The peacock replied, "I once thought I was the happiest bird, but now I am trapped in this zoo. People admire me, but I am not free. I wish I could fly like other birds." The raven was astonished. He had thought the peacock was the happiest of all. But now he saw that even the most beautiful creatures had their own troubles. He returned to the wise man, feeling thoughtful. He said, "I have learned something important. I do not want to be a swan or any other bird. I am happy being a raven." The wise man smiled warmly. "You have learned a valuable lesson. True happiness is not about being someone else. It is about being content with who you are and appreciating the simple joys in your life." The raven felt a change in his heart. He began to see the beauty in his own life. He enjoyed the warmth of the sun on his feathers. He delighted in finding juicy berries. He loved the freedom of flying high in the sky. The raven felt grateful for what he had. From that day on, the raven lived with a new sense of contentment. He no longer envied other creatures. He found joy in his daily life. The raven learned that true happiness comes from within and from accepting oneself. He flew around the forest with a smile. The other animals noticed the change in him. They saw how he appreciated the simple things. The raven's heart was full of gratitude and contentment. He was finally at peace with himself. The wise man watched the raven from afar. He was pleased to see the raven's transformation. He knew that the raven had learned a profound lesson. Happiness is not about what we want to be, but about being happy with who we are. The raven's story spread through the forest. Animals talked about how the raven found happiness. They were inspired by his journey. The raven became a symbol of contentment and gratitude. He continued to live in the forest, happy and free. He enjoyed every moment of his life. The raven's heart was light, and his spirit was joyful. He had discovered that true happiness is found in being grateful for what we have. And so, the raven lived happily ever after. He never forgot the lesson he learned from the wise man. He knew that happiness comes from within. The raven was content, and he lived each day with a grateful heart.